or something.
I had to feed my cats, man.
And to feed your puskins? What are your cats called?
Swedish names, man.
Oh. Do you want? Should we do that thing where you tell an English person a Swedish word and they butcher it?
So one cat is called Busen, which was my nickname for a little bit.
Boost. Okay.
Busen, which is like the mischievous one. That cat it's a very annoying cat.
That's why it was named after you, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I named myself after the cat.
Oh, okay. So really is a case of cats rule over humans in your house then, is what I'm getting from that.
I mean, cats, it's in my nickname, so
that's true.
It's there already, right?
So do you like pie a lot as well, or?
I mean, it's like a dumb story from when I was a kid, right? We needed like me and my brother were watching these videos, like these 2 eggs, and they had this song about pie, and so we needed a common denominator when we played Warcraft 3, so people saw that we were, friendly, so they wouldn't kick you out of the games, and so pie was the common denominator, and then we had a bunch of animals.
Ah, I see. So like you pie cat, someone's pie dog.
My brother was pie dog. Yeah,
of course, cat and dog makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
anyways,
it's not the stupidest name. Like there are
it's not. I mean, there's a story behind it, right? At least it's at least it's not Koikva, like some random button on the keyboard.
Do you feel like sometimes he just kind of like strokes his fingers across and saw where they kind of like plant?
No, he did. No, he did. I mean, the story behind his nickname is he just randomly just like, blah, blah, blah,
Okay.
He just hit the keyboard.
Nice. So we put more effort in. Like, mine had the whole Call of Duty backstory of like making bird noises while lurking around people. Like a really creepy person.
Killer Pigeon.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
dude,
how happy are you with that name?
I mean, you know what? The best part is like, you feel embarrassed by it, then people are like, no, stick with it, it's fine. And like, then you're reminded the best part about it is when like a host has to say it or something. Right?
I feel like you'd want to add like
yourself.
You'd want to add like Fire Blood Dragon in there.
Fire Blood Dragon. I mean,
Fire Blood Dragon Killer Pigeon. And then maybe like 57 because there were already 56 other people with that nickname.
It's always 69.
It's always 69. Okay.
If it's not taken.
Do you wanna get into the?
Yeah, that's why I slid a Snapfire in there after you mentioned the dragons, and then you're like, nah, dude, got to add the 69.
Nice.
But we got draft. We're already halfway through it. I was saying to you before, and I said it to the chat as well. Like, Monkey King is a bad hero when they aren't picking it and it's available. It says everything it needs to. They do seem to be prioritizing the Faceless Void a lot now, and I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I think of the Faceless Void, I just remember that game where Dendi blinked into the chrono.
Oh man, that was not again. And they picked it again now. If we see the combination of Void TA, I'll be on the edge of my seat here, just waiting for something to happen.
you kind of like you just rest your chin in your hands. You just kind of look at the screen like, oh,
I'm just waiting. Just anticipating.
I mean, hopefully not. I don't feel like a TA would be the go-to pick against the heroes we're seeing so far here.
TA ideally not a great hero against, I think, Darkseer, and I think Snapfire. It's like it can kind of go a little bit both ways. You can obviously kill the Snapfire very quickly, but there are ways to break the refraction. So
maybe we're gonna see the Doom ran in the pos 2 position because it looks like Slardar is likely to be the 3 here. Then you got Void as the 1. I do prefer Doom in the 2. Over the last few days, we've seen it attempted in the pos 1 position, and we kind of recall and discussed what we were seeing.
Yeah, the Doom position 1 didn't work out very well yesterday. That was in the ESL between the Gorilla's Pride versus Infamous.
Yeah.
Position 1 Doom. Yeah, it didn't look that amazing. So
see, you're doing this wrong, Pycat. When you mention a different TO, you have to really put it under your breath. So it's like, oh, just so the
okay. Yeah, I mean.
But over here in the WePlay Omega League, we'll see Doom played properly.
Right. Yes. This is where the real Doom is. Is that?
That's true. There's still a lot of flex. I feel like this hero could still function reasonably well as a POS 4, but I don't see it much. Is the surprising part to me, because like when you think about what changed with this hero, yeah, Scorched Earth got nerfed back a bit, but you could still have this kind of greedy, like 4th core type process by having it in the POS 4 role, right?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly wouldn't necessarily dislike it that much this game. Maybe it's not the most conventional thing to do right now. I just think that it's kind of nice having the ability to get a nice, mid hero in for last, depending on kind of how the draft goes. You don't want to be like, like right now we've got these 4 melee heroes, so something like let's say a Monkey King for Team
Ooh.
Unique. Maybe if we know already that the Doom is going to go mid,
I think that would be pretty ballsy,
it would be
considering
kind of ballsy, yes.
this kind of thing. Like you have those people. Like imagine you were playing against Arise and you pick Magnus.
Oh my.
They like some people are like, oh well, you can't put like Chrysalis on that same level. It's like it kind of can. Like he's most definitely a Monkey King specialist. In
Mm-hmm.
fairness, though, he plays in the POS 1 role. Like I think we discussed this on a previous day. Like the feeling that Monkey King in the POS 1 feels like dog crap right now, but you can see how it could still work in the 2.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of just relies on levels,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, he doesn't really want to be that farmer anymore, like the monkeys of old with the battle furies and everything. Also,
But
when the Wukong could bash and everything,
oh
oof,
god,
that was something else. Even the 4 monkey back then,
yeah,
that was
but
something.
then we got to the stage where Wonderful Ice Frog gave us Ags, okay, and everything
Hmm.
was okay again because that is one like that's one of my favorite Ags to see. There's just something so mischievous and clowny about it.
Yeah, it can definitely be a little bit clowny. But yeah, we might not see it right now.
No.
They'd have they have to pick now, and they have to choose if they want to put the Doom into the 4 or if they want to pick a new mid, or maybe pick something that could kind of go into both roles.
Could
If
just be
they're
a
afraid of
5.
getting, it could also just be a 5. Yeah, you could run the clock as a 4. That is definitely a possibility. It's kind of anything goes right now.
The only thing going is the clock towards 0. They're really taking their time with this. I feel like the big decision they're making is around the clockwork and the Doom, right? Like the Slardar and Void feel more fixed in their position. Okay,
All
let's
right.
not reveal anything. Beta,
Oh,
like the
I
whole
think this
draft
is.
is a bait. You don't know a thing.
Ooh.
And then the other Void gets snatched up by Team Unique. So Unique, they at least have very clear roles. You can quite easily see who's going where.
Yeah, they definitely have a more kind of clear cut lineup. Yeah, they're kind of just trying to figure out where they want to put this Bat Rider, where he can do the most damage, and it is going to be the position 5 Clockwork, looking like a position. Is this 4? I'm thinking 4
Yeah,
Doom,
Doom.
right?
Yeah, and
And
then
it looks
Batrider
like it's
mid.
going to be Bat Rider mid. Yeah. So we're gonna have this Snapfire Spectre lane going up against Slaughter Doom, Void Clockwork into Darkseer Tiny. I think both of these lanes are kind of just like farmy. I don't really see. I don't think that there should be anything happening in the safe lane for bait. Like the Void Clockwork shouldn't really be getting kills, but they also shouldn't really be dying to this Darkseer. At least the Void shouldn't. So not the most interesting lanes. Potentially there are some kills in the safe lane of Team Unique.
I admit nothing
Slaughter
but my
versus
sadness
Spectre,
that you're
kind of
gone.
favoring the Slaughter in that sense. However, the Snapfire I think can offset quite a bit of that. And then it's just this mid matchup, and I've seen this mid matchup go both ways.
Yeah, it's very volatile, right? Because you think, oh,
Mhm.
well, Batrider's up against the melee hero. He has the advantage, but obviously depending on your build, Void Spirit can get out of the problem, right? Like he can use Dissimulate to move away from your Firefly, and if you go for a Flame Break build, he's dodging half the damage half the time.
Yeah, it can definitely kind of just like go either way. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely a
yeah,
race towards 6. Maybe I think the thing to focus on with that lane is like supports that could rotate, right? Like they may be the differing factor once both reach 6.
yeah. So I think in this game, I think Team Unique they have a much more kill-centric lineup, and to some extent team fight as well. There is the Chrono on the Void, and there's also the Doom to kind of take care of some of the team fight issues. But the one thing that Bait has now is that at least they have some strong roach potential. With the Void scaling, you can kind of take towers, although neither team really has this like tower taking ability on pretty much any of their heroes. So I'm expecting this game not to be. It shouldn't be too fast. I think there could be quite a bit of action in terms of kills, but towers shouldn't really be falling too fast.
Mm-hmm. I mean, one side has a Spectre, one side has a Void. You get that feeling that both sides are relatively comfortable with this idea of the game being a bit slower.
Yeah, and generally you think that this Spectre hero kind of really enjoys going late, and which is true also. However, I do think that it is still a little bit scary going up against like heroes like Slaughter, Void, and Doom,
Yes.
where you can die to combinations of do amplify damage, chrono, etc. And they're also kind of just like they're relying on this one Spectre to kind of carry them, and I think that if Bait manage to get BKBs on their heroes, I think the game becomes pretty hard for Unique, unless they can just keep dragging it on later. Because I think generally what the Spectre hero enjoys doing is you want to play against kind of some squishy supports, where when you haunt, they're just forced to run. But with these Doom and Clockwork heroes, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. These heroes can survive a haunt. They can run around. They can make it difficult for the Spectre to kill them. So, not the easiest game for Spectre, I think.
No, it definitely feels like they've got the clear idea of how you counter Spectre. You make sure there's no weak link in the chain. There's no chink in the armor. Everyone is a bulky boy.
Yeah, and we're just gonna have this straight up Doom. He's gonna go eat the range creep, and so the lane is gonna be pushing in favor of Bait in this bottom lane. We'll kind of see how that goes. There may be potentially some attempt at a first blood. No, Vansker is just gonna port bottom.
Yeah, there wasn't any bite from Bait in the top lane. Of course, there is a difference. This team, I know some people in the chat are going to be yelling like, "Where's Blantimos? Why is he not here?" I'm not quite sure the reason, but of course, Lauren not a familiar face in this lineup. A 19 teen, not where we usually see him as a god. Not even his true name anymore, because I think he's 20 now. So,
Oh shit.
his name's completely wrong. This is why you don't name yourself your age, guys.
Wait, so are you saying he just named himself this? Like he only played the game for 1 year, and he just named himself 19.
It'd be pretty impressive, wouldn't it? Right? Like, how impressive is that for all the players who've been playing for like 10 years to get to this point? Like 1 year? What?
That'd be something.
Yeah, he used to be a LoL player. Before that, Heroes of Storm player. He switches game every year. Yeah.
Right, so he can get the new nickname and still be,
There it is. Valorant
a
player
viable
next
player.
year. Although, though, he's doing pretty well in this bot lane. Hasn't really been contested at all. 7 CS already.
Yeah, I think early on, I think there's not much kind of a kill threat for anyone. The Doom obviously opting for Devour level 1, so not much is going to happen there. Some harassment onto the Doom, nothing very exciting is going to come in the first levels, most likely, unless someone makes a bigger sort of error.
For 5 up right now, it's just all about masticating. It's your word for the day.
The what now?
Masticating.
Masticating.
Yeah, it's chewing.
Yeah,
It's the
okay,
act of
okay.
chewing.
Okay, see, you learn something new every day.
But if you said that to a random person in Twitch chat or in your pub game, they're definitely not going to think that's what it means.
No, that's not initially what I thought it was either.
It's fine. We're all about learning here. Okay, we're going to learn if 19T made a mistake. Oh, wait. No, that's fine. You have Snapfire. The master of cookies.
Yeah,
Plus,
and it looks
Scorched
like
level 1 is pretty underwhelming.
it looks like Lorenov is off to kind of a decent start here with the 6th denies already. He's gonna be up quite a bit in terms of levels.
Which means the race towards 6 is looking a bit worrying for Dendi. I feel as soon as you hit 6 with the Void Spirit, you can very easily kill a Bat Rider with the double Astral Step.
Yeah, Dendi has to be careful once the Void Spirit reaches 6 and, potentially some of the rotations bottom.
Oh, BCC gets brought down. They just willed him down. That wasn't even bash luck at the end. It just seemed like a good move from Fishman.
Yeah, not the easiest lane kind of for Darkseer to pressure Faceless Void. You can offset quite a bit of the damage. If you ever, take a little bit of damage, you can just time walk it off. They don't really have any reliable enough stuns to actually lock the Void down with just the tiny, just a tiny stun.
I guess the priority for this lane is like, usually you just kind of want to get BCC to around 3 and then Tiny should start rotating away from the lane. Because you should be more or less self-sustained then.
Yeah, I think the idea, at least from my point of view, should be for the Darkseer in a lane like this to kind of just cut creeps after he gets up to level 3.
I mean, on bot. I mean, we thought that this would be a little bit more bullyish on the Spectre. Like you said early on, she wouldn't get pressured, but they're the ones actually dishing out an alarming amount of pressure. And as I talk about that, mid lane, the rotation does come in from Tiny, and they're able to kill off Dendi.
Yeah, then he was diving onto the tower, and the Void Spirit was very low, but Tiny comes in with a shell and a surge, and then he pays the ultimate price.
Yeah, this is
Of
the
death.
that's true, but it's the death in the mid lane, all right? It's bad. It's terrible price. Okay, like you die in this situation, you're now on an island. You realize you screwed up, and you know it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, I like your analysis there. Then he dies in the mid lane, and it's bad.
It's very,
Yeah.
very bad. Fishman looking bad in the top lane gets brought down, and Chrysalis just has to run away. Vengeance.
I feel
for the
like
dark.
masticating is not gonna be the word of the day. It's gonna be bad. Just, you know.
Oh no, because there's a way you bring it back and you combine the two. We'll watch Doom,
Ooh.
and if he doesn't use Devour efficiently, then he's bad at masticating.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's not what masticating means.
Look, you can look it up now, right? And if I am wrong,
Nah.
I'll just say
Nah.
it was an elaborate
I'll
bait
just- I'll
to
just-
fit with
I'll
the
just-
game.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nah, I'll just say that masticating means something else. Everyone in the chat knows it means something else. So.
I mean, they've got Google. They're 10k Google knowledge. They know better. 19 team. Being
It's gonna be a
initiated, all
rotation.
of a sudden, last hero just needs to move away, but the rotation in from Lorenoff, not able to get him with the Remnant. Now, 5-up hung around. He was trying to bodyguard even though he wasn't needed, so he will go down instead. Meanwhile, top, BCC being hunted onto. They could try for it. Time Walk, where's the bash? Where's the bash? You can tell this guy's got 2,000 games of Monkey King, but not 2,000 games of Void. He's not timed the RNG right. Instead, Fishman might be the one going down. Illusion moves forward, needs that final hit, and he can't quite get it. In the meantime, BCC will die to a bash coming out from Chrysalis.
Yeah, and I think that was actually a mistake on Tiny's behalf there. I think if he just stays with his, he kind of sold his Darkseer there. He left to go for the kill onto the position 5 Clockwork, which, you know, even if you end up getting it, it's really not that big a deal. So he kind of sells his Darkseer there.
Yeah, like that awkward moment was like, well, it was nice visiting your lane. I'm gonna go do my things now. And BCC, they're like, where are you going, you son of a... Don't leave me.
Yeah, and back-to-back deaths now on this Doom, giving up quite a bit of XP. The gold, not a huge deal here, but also kind of hurting his game a little bit, just porting back in and just dying straight up to the combination of the Void Spirit and Snapfire.
Yeah, it's definitely what I kind of assess as an XP greedy hero, because that unlocks his ability to be a gold greedy hero, right, with the Devour levels. And he has at least got level 2 Devour, so maybe find a useful creep here and there. But I feel like we haven't really got to see the bully potential of this lane that maybe we would have expected with the Slardar plus Doom.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though, right? It's the fact that there's a Snapfire. Spectre is not an easy hero to harass. You know, you have the Dispersion, and yeah, Slardar has this bash, but the Snapfire offsets quite a bit of this. You like these two melee heroes running into Scatterblast and potentially Fire Snap Cookie. It's not that easy for you to run into a Spectre with this when he also has this, you know, already the crowns and Fairy Fire and Stick.
Yeah, it's not like you can go on to Vansko instead, because this is, believe it or not, a range strength hero with ridiculous strength gain per level. So, quite the bulky gal herself.
We do see an invisibility rune for the Void Spirit up top here. It does look kind of like they're aware on bait. Playing very cautiously right now.
Looks like it's time to dive. Gonna go in with 3. And the Chrono's gonna come out straight away. The TP's coming in from Doom. I don't know if they've got the damage here. The vacuum actually working against Lorenoff is gonna tank through it all. And instead, Fishman's gonna be brought down. 5-up gets low as well and will die off. And that backfired very heavily. The Chrono achieving absolutely nothing, and Dendi just moves into his death. Oh,
Yeah, and initially it looked like a decent Chrono. It's just there's no follow-up damage at this point.
Exactly.
There's no Slaughter rail to use the amplified damage. Void doesn't have enough physical damage yet. He just has the Morbid Mask and a Glove of Haste. And Batrider really doesn't offer that much unless you have a lot of sticky stacks at this point, especially going for this maxed out sticky build.
Yeah, it's overall one of those situations where, like, you see so many heroes, you probably bait yourself into like, oh, this is a good Chrono, and then immediately you realize...
Would you say that they baited themselves into it?
No, because I was trying to avoid that. I didn't go there on purpose, all right? That joke has been made a quadrillion times in a half a year. And for once, I didn't want to go there, Pycat. We wanted to rise above it. Above it!
I went there.
Like a tiny tossing you through the air above it.
I have no shame.
I could
Well,
believe
I
this.
guess you're kind of unique in that sense.
Look at us back and forth here. This is a team effort.
This is
Ooh.
great, man.
Oh, Vanscore says, even though my cookie doesn't hit, I can just take your last hits. I'm happy with that. What are you doing? No, don't leave. Okay, I would totally stand around here just scatter blasting those creeps right now. I'd probably die for it. It's just the kind of person I am. Last hero looks really underwhelming on this bot lane now, already against the Spectre who has drums completed.
Ooh, and we can see there, man, Fanscore just showing up with the scatter blast fire snap, and we see the Void. He's out. You know, he doesn't want any of it. He's scared. Fanscore just kind of showing what's what.
I mean, I don't blame him. You know, Vanscore is the cookie master, and you know why cookies are dangerous. Diabetes.
Because of, yeah, right. High cholesterol, diabetes, etc.
That, and they have a freaking dragon. Last hero might
Might
not
have
a
an
life,
initiation here.
Yep, moving in. They activate the
Slaughter
strong
should be
chase
fine
after him.
here.
Yeah, they ain't
The
got the
Void Spirit is
damage.
coming in.
He's a little bit slow. If they go for 5 up instead, they actually decide to go for the big one. So they're on top of Slardar, will bring him down. All of a sudden, 5 up standing here, just holding himself in his own hands, not sure what to do with himself. Loronov's able to move away to dissimulate. Chrysalis doesn't have a chrono for 10 more seconds, and even when you throw it down, we've seen this before. If you commit to the chrono, where's your damage? He's lost 5 up. The TPs are coming in now. Chrysalis has got the chrono, can commit it onto 2 here. Catches 3, in fact. Beautifully done. Maximum range, the pings come out. I don't think you can reach the Void Spirit though. They're just trying to take out a 19 team, but he's so goddamn tanky. Able to move away. The Remnant locks down faces Void. The push back towards Dendy. Look at that last 2, but he can't get close enough. And now Vanscore, he kisses him goodbye. The farewell kiss is what it is actually, as they chase forward. They're looking for more. Fishman gets vacuumed back. Stun comes out from Slardar. That's how long the fight's been going on, but it's always going the way of Team Unique as Illusion moves away. Lorinov, he just stands. He's like, come at me, bro. Who's next? Who gonna die? Cookie, a little bit off the mark. They do use the Haunt. They're trying to reinitiate in. 19 teams staying on top of 5 up. They turn around the last hero instead, gonna try and run him down. And with the movement forward, with the surge, with the drum charge, with all of this, Unique are some speedy boys. We'll move in, clean up another one with the toss forward. The Remnant actually clips on the 5 up. And this fight is not ending. But Bait's devs are just increasing as we're now up to 14 kills to 2 in this game at the 11-minute mark with a 4K lead.
Yeah, we can see right now that the Beta are trying to fight a lot, even though they're heroes. They don't really have any fighting capabilities at this point. We also see Dendy, he decided to go for this Boots of Travel first item after Bottle, despite having this, you know, 0-3 and 0 score, not off to a great start. And this is something that I think we spoke a little bit about before. I'm not a super big fan of this, the bots rush after having such a kind of a poor start. I feel like if you want to do this, you need to be kind of ahead so that you are still a threat. But right now, they can't really show up to any fights. They just get outnumbered. The Doom is not 6 yet. He's having a very rough game. Same for the kind of the Slardar, and the only one having a decent game right now is the Faceless Void, and he just doesn't have enough damage just yet.
I think we're quite a way off being ready. So, you know, to say just yet is optimistic. Because at this stage in the game, like, you look at this, and I think you're right. When we look at that boost travel choice, you go, okay, what I'd really like to see right now in Bait is one of their cores building drums, for example, so they can match what Unique are doing. Because right now they lack the ability to fight early. So you look across at Slardar, maybe he'll build it. Nope, he's rushing a Blink Dagger, which you can understand from his perspective why he's doing it. But I don't know about you. I look at Bait's lineup, and I feel like a lack of damage is your biggest issue right now. That's why Unique was able to dive like that without a care in the world.
Yeah, they're also fighting without the Doom 6, right? So, like, having this spell missing at this point and then still trying to take these fights. You could see even Unique, they were diving past the tier 1 that was still alive. They just kept diving onto tier 2s. Just, they're not gonna stop because they know that they don't really have anything to fight back with at this point. We are gonna see now the Doom is gonna pick up the 6. Maybe they're gonna go for some sort of smoke play here.
Alright, but hear me out. Be like that game we had the other day where the Doom couldn't catch his Doom target. Doom, person gets surged. 5 up is like, I've done my part.
Yeah, but there's a purge on the Doom.
True. So if he's quick with his spell casting, which I hope he has got some magical fingers, considering he's
no,
a
Magical
professional
is not
Dota
in
player.
this. He's in a different team.
But he could have chopped his fingers off and borrowed them.
I suppose that's
Like
true.
a rabbit for good luck. Last hero needs to
gonna be
lock or some
initiation here.
assistance. Yep, gets his stun out, trying to move away. The reinforcements are here. The hookshot comes in, beautifully done. And the Doom thrown out away. The last two's gonna come down as well. The wall's being thrown in. Now the Kisses are gonna arrive. They haven't really got the damage still. Instead, they're the ones running. Clockwork gets brought down. Doom's gonna die as well. And last hero, I just honestly feel like, while he's the last one out, well, I say that, Dendy's gonna be left behind. The only people being baited in this game is, in fact, teammates. Because once
we
again,
saw there the...
like, it's just no damage, isn't it? It's like every time these fights.
There's too much damage at this point on the side of Unique, and they also already have this early mech on the Darkseer, so he can offset quite a bit of the damage done by bait. Also, a lot of their damage at this point is physical. Since the Batrider doesn't really have any items, the same goes for the Doom. They just don't have that many plays right now, and so much of this team fight, like lacking in terms of team fight for bait right now, is showing. They just don't have enough spell damage.
And it's kind of worrying, right? Because usually when you look at these kind of drafts, Slardar kind of gets this pass as it makes your draft a lot easier to execute. But the problem is, like, the other cores you're executing for, it doesn't feel like there's that synergy we usually see if, for example, a Templar Assassin gets picked with a Slardar.
Yeah, they're like, the thing about their lineup is that they're relying so much on physical damage, and their heroes, they just don't have that much damage on their heroes in general. They have a lot of catch. All of these heroes pretty much have catch. Batrider can catch. Doom has to some extent. You can call it catch with the Purge, and you know he could potentially get a Blink Dagger into a Stomp later on. But they just don't have enough damage. They have physical damage in terms of Void hitting amplified targets, but at this point, when there's already a mech on the enemy team and there's just an overwhelming amount of spell damage, on top of the fact that most of the heroes on Unique are quite tanky.
Also, you have to remember, like, the thing with Faceless Void that kind of can bait you in is this fact that you're actually heavily reliant on magical damage to supplement your early physical damage, right? Because of the bash being magical. So in these early phases, until you get like 2 or 3 right-click items, you are still, like, you're not getting as much value out of this Slardar's corrosive haze as you would on other carries at that point.
Yeah, not the ideal kind of combo. You kind of want to see some, as yeah, Unique are just gonna keep, they're just running them over, diving towers. The Void Spirit being beyond godlike, I think, since minute, I want to say 13, 14.
Yeah, his portrait's not far yet though. He's still got some ways to go.
Yeah, and what a stand-in they found themselves.
I mean, I don't know what Lorenoff means. Sounds kind of elvish. Maybe it's warrior who kills all, because so far that's what he's been doing. 11-0-5 on the board. Nobody able to even put a dent in him. You know, this man is stood in Chronos and when I am the true Void here.
I'm gonna see a smoke here, and it looks like they're just gonna try to smoke across the map. I think this is a cool move. The Spectre is ready with a port. By the time they reach a target, if there's more than one, the Spectre should have his haunt ready.
But they just find Dendy. They're like, let's see what we can play with this one with. And with the Iron Shell on top of him, there's more than enough damage to get him on his own.
Yeah, this is gonna be...
Last hero, he just wants out. He doesn't want to have any problems. So the vacuum drags him back into the Kisses. I don't know if there's a kiss as much as the spit, as Vanscourt just spits on the hopes of Bait being able to win this. The Haunt comes in forward. Nice dodge out by 19 Teen. Surge forward onto Fishman as well, but the Cogs will buy him enough time to move away.
Is he actually going for this?
I mean, you're kind of at a point where why not, right? And then you realize you haven't died yet, so that's the why. Clean sheet. Gotta keep that clean sheet.
I mean, we just need 10 more kills for a Team Unique, right? And then we're kind of...
That's
when
when
we're
Dendy's like, alright boys, we're done this game. Go game 2. No,
and there's gonna be a 17-minute Yule's Axe on the Void Spirit here.
Alright, here we go. Chrono. I said there'd be one more kill. I don't know if it's going to be this one. With the Doom, it should be enough damage. The mech won't heal him up. They'll be able to bring down the last 2 to drag in BCC as well. No escape for the Darkseer. Double kill already for Chrysalis, and last hero slithering along looking for more. Has got the blink in 10 seconds. But once they reach the river, he might just be able to run down Illusion casually. He does have the toss back, though, so he could buy himself some time. But with Chrysalis closing in,
Blink is going to come up in 1 second here.
Nope. Doink. Straight in. Bash follow-up. Says Chrysalis, it's your turn to bash. Okay. No bashes from you, but you still get the kill. And finally, Bait showing some signs of life.
Yeah, and the Void, he got all these kills. He's still sitting at 5-0. He's just like, guys, come on. Can you know, it's one of those games where you're just like, guys, come on.
I know I'm the carry. I know that's the
guys...
defined role. But can you do something?
No, but this is, I mean, it's still something, because the Void is getting big, and I mean, should the game just keep dragging on? I think at some point, I think Bait they have a sort of a chance in this game. They really need their, like I mentioned, they need their BKBs. I wouldn't be really opposed to the Slaughter also just rushing one. He's gonna go for a hood, so you know he wants to be able to fight a little bit earlier. But then he's getting kind of close to his BKB. He's like 1,000 gold off, and Void also he might go. I'm not sure if he's gonna go for the MJ first or if he's going straight into BKB. But once he gets that, I think you'd want to go for BKB here, seeing that the Void Spirit already has his axe. I think that should be a kind of a...
Well, they definitely have the burst to get rid of you in like a 2 to 4 second window, right? With the Tiny there as well. Like he can follow up the initiation of the Void. I agree. He definitely needs a defensive item.
Yeah, and it looks like the Mithril Hammer is flying out. And also on top of that, an Imp Claw. So he's going to have quite a lot of physical damage if he gets to live in these fights. You know, once he has the BKB, there's not really anything on the side of Unique that can actually stop this Void. And we're going to have a Roche. It's going to be quite fast here by Unique. Also pretty easy with the mech on the Darkseer. And Aegis on the Spectre now.
Yeah, Bait knew about it, courtesy of Fishman with those rocket flares out the clockwork, but they realized that it was too late. Like, with how much gold is in Unique, at this stage in the game, taking down Roche is a pretty quick affair for them.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing you can do there, like in a scenario like this where you're this clockwork, you're basically just a rocket flare and a hookshot at this point. I feel like that's one of those scenarios where you can kind of just, you know, YOLO go for the try to steal the Aegis, but not close enough.
No. And credit to Unique, they set up pretty well around the pit to make sure if a clockwork was on his way and he'd be seen by the wards or the hero's haunt. Moving into the base, decides that's a bad idea and actually comes out to play with the Void instead. And that is your carry gone for 50 seconds. So much for no deaths.
Yeah, Dandy is going to have his BKB finished now. So once the Void respawns, there is some sort of potential to fight, but...
Illusion. He got the wrong toss back. They're going to go with the kisses anyway. Dendy's forced to use the BKB and run away. Hook shot into the Illusion to ensure that Dendy doesn't die in the middle of his magic community. He just wants to prance around all pretty and golden in his base before going back to heal.
Illusion was already out of there.
Well, Illusion is going back in. And 5-up is now truly out of there as he's down for 30 seconds. And I think we're starting to get that preview again, as we always come back to, as why Darkseer is such a potent pick right now. As once again, Illusion's in. Says hello to Dendy. What magic immunity? You don't have a BKB anymore. Last hero looks like a great initiation, but the problem is you're not initiating, you're running away. The buyback does get forced out of 5-up. He has got the Doom to work with. Drums available in 3 seconds, but Unique said that's enough. We'll back up for the moment, and as soon as you come out your base to play, we'll be there waiting.
Yeah, and I really, really like what Unique, sorry, not what Unique, but what Illusion is doing in this game. He's just, basically every chance he gets, he just goes in, he uses the Avalanche toss combo, tries to toss someone back. You know, if he gets it, he gets it. Otherwise, he's just kind of out of there, and he goes, you know, he keeps doing this in and out. And basically, Bait, they just never have time to, they're not ready for this. Like, he's playing at a very fast rate, and Bait, they kind of need some time to set up and, you know, like, kind of think how they're going to approach this fight, but he's just not giving them the time.
Yeah, I mean, if I had that horrifying looking thing run at me yelling kill, 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 I might too panic a little and not know what to do about it. That's just the beauty of Darkseer. They just unlock so many options in these type of situations, as they'll just move in onto the clockwork. He's a little bit too tanky with the burst down straight away, and all of a sudden they want to move away from 5-up, who has got the Doom available. 19 teen, going to wail on him here. Doom, he won't even be able to use his ultimate. That's going to be his dieback. All right. They were waiting to see if a mistake would be made, and Bait, they present the opportunity. Now they'll move forward, looking to get back into that base. Clockwork gets brought down, double kill already for Lorinov. And they're hunting for more. They did find Dendy. They can't quite force his BKB out yet, but they coming. They ready to force that out of him. But Vacuum's a little bit off the mark. 19 team will back up for the moment. He's got Pro's Haze on him, but Illusion goes immediately back in, and Dendy, he forgot where the BKB button was. He didn't get a chance to use it. Illusion kills him off.
Yeah, he was just kind of hoping to get out of that scenario without pressing the BKB, which at this point is quite greedy. I think you can't really be that greedy at this point of the game, as we see.
Oh god.
Unique are just chasing them from one side of the map to the other.
I mean, the TPs are coming in, but I don't know if you can protect him. Like, he's got the chrono, but he has no way of using him because he doesn't have any magic immunity. Nice hook shot in to buy some time, but Chris has already moved away. Illusion follows up with the Avatar and gets the kill. So Void has gone for 50 seconds. All of a sudden, they want to run away from the other Void. Void Spirit's able to dominate this fight, moving in towards the clockwork to simulate to burst him down, kill him off. And last hero, still not really feeling like a hero, as he doesn't really know where his place is in these fights. Am I initiating? Am I counter-initiating? Am I amplifying my Batrider's right clicks? What am I doing?
At this point, he's trying his best to amplify the Batrider's right click damage. No, in all seriousness, though, it's at this point it's just Unique can just kind of chase bait around the map, and they're doing what they're supposed to. They're not, committing too early to this high ground. They're just gonna keep extending their lead, getting the Spectre more items. We're gonna see this Manta Diffusal build from the Spectre. I think it's a nice choice. Just going for some sort of right-click damage, as you already have so much magical damage. Going for Radiance seems kind of, excessive. You just want to be able to scale better into some sort of a right-click build.
Yeah,
where you're
it's a good counter against the Faceless Void as well, right? Like, burn the mana of that hero, all of a sudden, it's not even a chrono that you can consider.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like, the Void, he can fight in his BKB, and after that, he's just going to be done. So, we'll see if he ever gets to the BKB.
5 up. He just want to show everyone his confetti. Kisses are going to come out. Stance is there, and the vacuum as well. No chance to even use the chrono. And Bait are just melting in the fierce spit from this dragon as Vanscore is dominating these fights. Lasso from Dendi just wants to show the rest of the Unique side his base, as he'll slowly run away with the BKB at the moment. But you can already see they're getting ready. The toss in, they're on top of him. This game is looking all about done.
What the just happened?
Yeah, I think when you're getting caught, I mean, it's also the cogs into the Snapfire, the allied cogs into the Snapfire ultimate. The anti-combo.
I'm helping.
Yeah, this is looking like a rough one. If you're a Bait fan.
I mean, it's felt like it's escalating, right? Like, sometimes you just gotta chuckle about what's happening, because the reality is, if you can't laugh about it, it just looks like vicious bullying.
I think that's pretty much what it is at this point. This is some pretty vicious bullying.
Yes, what is this? The Ralph from Simpsons, where it's like, stop hitting him, he's dead.
I'm in danger.
Stop hitting Vlada, he's dead.
I'm in danger. That's kind of where the entirety of the Bait lineup is at right now, I think.
Yep. Not a stranger danger. They should be all too familiar with Unique by now, considering how much they've been up in their face. Vacuum the Dragon Ball back. Avalanche to be off the mark, and the Cookie throws Illusions into Danger's way, but there's no counter initiation. They can't chance it. If they throw out that chrono and it isn't a jackpot, the game is done.
Yeah, they're pretty much relying on a 5-man chrono inside the fountain at this point, I think. And even then...
Which could happen, considering how much Illusion likes to dive, as does 918, as he's doing it again to find a kill in a 5-up. Alright, so right now, Bait, they're having a strategic timeout. Like, alright, 5-up. If you just move a little bit further back, we're almost at the fountain. Keep going. So you died here. I'll die here next time. That's like a breadcrumb trail. And then they'll be like, ooh, mangoes. They'll come pick those up, and then we fight a fountain.
Yeah, so he's really embodying the name of the team, is what you're saying.
Hey, when you got lemons, you make lemonade, okay? I haven't really got much else right now.
I feel like those are that's some pretty sour lemonade right now at this point.
I mean, I don't know if there's any lemons left to make lemonade. They might just be chucking more at this point. Which is ironic, because you can see they feel very thirsty in this game. 20,000 gold behind Unique already. And they're just stuck on the higher ground, kind of slowly watching the game go by.
Yeah, I think at this point, this is where you solidly pretty much rely on Unique to make bad plays, just making mistakes. There's not really... When you're at a deficit like this, there are not really that many plays you can make. You can have some ideas of trying to fight around buybacks in your own base, kind of like you said, like trying to have them actually dive onto the tier 4s or even further and somehow retaliate with buybacks. But even that could be a stretch. I think Unique really need to slip up in order for Bait to get some sort of a comeback going.
And instead, they're just going to keep going. They're on top of Crystal. They ping him out. They know he has no way of protecting himself. And there's his attempt by Slardar to save the day. Is going to be a fail. Last year will probably give his life as well. Dendi is being completely ignored. All he does is pops the Lincolns with a lasso. Slardar is tanking up a lot of damage, yes, but what are you achieving? The buyback into the Chrono from Chrysalis, but where's the damage? They can't deal with the Spectre, they have to move forward, trying to help out, and in the end, it does nothing. That's GG. The moment you see that Chrono, the moment you watch yourself run out of that Chrono, you look to your captain and you go, I think we're done here, boss.
Yeah, valiant effort from the